According to CJ Gardner-Johnson, he says Taylor Swift is not thick enough.
Like, was he just being fun and like chirping or whatever?
Yeah,
or was he like...
Did someone ask him about it?
Hopefully it's like that thing, don't be thangin'.
And it caused a visceral reaction from the Swifties, who are firing back with review bombs of his mom's restaurant. It'd be a weird thing to just come out and like say randomly to a news reporter.
New Heights podcast posted a post congratulating the Eagles on their win. They had to take it down because Swifties went crazy and lost their mind, but they took the post down. And I have I have the post that they took down. It was like totally normal. They had to delete it, which is weird. Crazy to me.
Kylie Kelce, Jason Kelce's wife, recently shared a funny story about her experience during a double date with the Kelce brothers and Taylor Swift. You know, with all the attention surrounding Taylor and Travis, Kylie's story adds a bit of humor to the whole thing. Apparently, Kylie didn't even try Taylor's homemade meal, which is surprising, considering Taylor's cooking has become somewhat of a sensation. I mean, if Taylor Swift cooks for you, it's basically a celebrity endorsement, right? But Kylie was pretty honest about why she passed on the food, admitting that she was 8 weeks pregnant at the time and just wasn't feeling it. She went on to say that she didn't just have the appetite to give Taylor's cooking a chance, and while it might sound a little harsh, she assured everyone that it was the honest reason. She wasn't trying to be rude or anything, just dealing with pregnancy cravings or lack thereof.
Saw you and Taylor meet, obviously, for the first time at the Chiefs and Bills game.
Yes.
Was that the first time you had guys met?
Yes.
Why?
There was like all of this stuff leading up to it about, well, why haven't they met? People are deeply disturbed by this. They're avoiding each other. I'm not avoiding anyone. I am more than happy to meet someone, especially someone that Travis is dating. And she's busy.
Just a little.
It's just so silly to me that that's like the storyline. I didn't meet Travis for probably close to a year.
Right.
When Jason and I were dating, so.
Now, Taylor's cooking isn't something to joke about. She's earned praise from close friends and family for her culinary skills, particularly her homemade Pop-Tarts, cinnamon rolls, and those legendary chai sugar cookies. In fact, Travis has raved about her cooking in the past, so you'd think Kylie would have at least taken a bite, but nope. She wasn't up for it, and she's owning it. While Kylie wasn't hungry that day, it wasn't the only thing she was keeping to herself. She also opened up about how she and Jason didn't even know about Travis and Taylor's relationship until just before the Chiefs vs. Bears game in September 2023.
Tell you guys that he was dating Taylor Swift. I'm assuming like your family was like told this in some capacity at some point,
We were
right?
not. I will say we knew before everyone else knew.
Okay. Did Jason tell you? It didn't hit the group chat.
No, it did not hit the group chat. Jason and I found out together.
Kylie, who's married to Jason, didn't even know about it until the couple went public. Talk about being out of the loop, right? And it wasn't just about hearing the news. It took a bit longer for Kylie to meet Taylor in person. But when she finally did, Kylie hinted that it was more of a decision Travis made rather than her own. The delay led to a bit of buzz and speculation, with people wondering why it took so long for Kylie to meet her brother-in-law's famous girlfriend. But Kylie was quick to clarify that it wasn't her avoiding Taylor at all. It just kind of happened that way, and there was no bad blood.
Her family was like Sea Isle, Stone Harbor.
Fun.
We grew up going to the same shore points, and that's like the exact areas that I grew up going to. Gone to Sea Isle City my whole life.
This whole thing, from skipping the meal to the slow pace of meeting Taylor, just adds a relatable human element to what might otherwise seem like a world of celebrities with perfectly planned schedules. These moments of realness make it clear that despite all the fame, the Kelceys and Swift are still just people navigating relationships and pregnancy cravings like the rest of us. Now, while Kylie was talking about the delays and the food situation, Travis was off dealing with his own emotional challenges after the Chiefs' tough 40-22 loss to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. It was a rough game, one that hit Travis hard, especially since he had just come off a previous Super Bowl loss to Tom Brady's Buccaneers in 2021. During an episode of the New Heights podcast, Travis reflected on the defeat, calling it a tough pill to swallow, and explained how hard it was to come so close to a win only to fall short. What was interesting, though, was that even though Taylor was at the Super Bowl to support him, Travis didn't mention her at all in the podcast. He was very focused on his family and teammates, expressing his gratitude for them in the wake of such a crushing loss. But not a single word about Taylor, even though everyone knew she was there cheering him on. Fans definitely took notice of this omission. Considering how public their relationship had become, people were kind of surprised that Travis didn't acknowledge Taylor's presence at such an emotional time.
God damn. it's just life, man.
I think people have been waiting to hear from you since the game Sunday. I mean, you have so many records at this point that this is like kind of like just another one.
That's the last thing that I care about right now. Going into the game, I felt as confident as I ever felt in going into a Super Bowl or a playoff game or a big game in my life. And that wasn't the reason. To happen on the biggest stage sucks. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's a hard reality, man. I'm sorry for how it ended, but you know, I have a beautiful life. I have loved ones. Right now, I'm just kicking everything down the road.
Was it a deliberate choice? Was he just too caught up in the loss to talk about his relationship, or was there something deeper behind it? Some fans speculated that maybe the couple wasn't as solid as they appeared, but reports from people close to them indicated that they were incredibly happy together. So maybe it was just one of those moments where Travis didn't feel like talking about his personal life, opting to focus on the loss and his team instead. And then just when everyone was still talking about the lack of Taylor mentions in the podcast, a few small details about Taylor's behavior in New Orleans sparked their own set of theories. After the Super Bowl, Taylor made a very low-key exit, avoiding photographers and trying to keep a low profile, which is pretty normal for her. But then, fans zoomed in on one particular detail, the pair of ruby red loafers she was wearing. You know, like Dorothy's ruby red slippers in The Wizard of Oz. Fans immediately started theorizing that the slippers were some sort of symbol for the end of a journey. Some on TikTok even suggested that they represented the end of Taylor's relationship with Travis. Fans of Taylor, or Swifties, are known for analyzing every little detail of her life, so this theory gained some traction, even though there's no evidence to suggest that anything was wrong between the two.
In terms of the aftermath of what happens with the Chiefs, Travis Kelce came back for a three-peat, and then we saw what happened last night, that he's not going to want to leave off of this. It just comes down to, what does Travis Kelce want to do with his life? He retires, and the offers just come flooding in. Well, what does he want to do? Does he want to keep playing football? Does he want to start acting now? Does he want to start hosting shows now? Does he want to do dramas now? Does he want to do comedies now?
It's funny how one pair of shoes could lead to so much speculation, but that's the world Taylor lives in. Her fans are notorious for picking apart anything she does, from her lyrics to her outfits, trying to find hidden meanings. The thing is, there's no actual confirmation that Taylor and Travis are splitting up. In fact, sources have said that the couple is still very happy together. But that didn't stop the rumors. People wondered if the shoes were just another Easter egg, a subtle hint in Taylor's fashion that could signal something deeper, or if it was just a coincidence. For now, fans are left to guess, trying to connect the dots between Taylor's shoes and her relationship status, which of course only fuels more chatter and curiosity. Then, just when everyone thought things were settling down, the Super Bowl stirred up even more drama, this time involving Travis's ex, Kayla Nicole. Kayla, who had been in an on and off relationship with Travis from 2017 to 2022, was spotted celebrating on the field after the Eagles win. The reaction online was wild. Some fans accused Kayla of attending the game out of spite, as if she was trying to make a statement or stay relevant by being associated with Travis's loss. Others defended her, emphasizing that she's a professional sports journalist with a solid career of her own. Kayla had always supported the Chiefs, even attending their first Super Bowl win in 2020, so it wasn't exactly out of the blue for her to be at the game. But because of her past connection to Travis, her presence at the Super Bowl quickly became a topic of debate. Some fans took to social media to criticize Kayla, questioning how she got access to the field and mocking her for apparently using a relationship with Travis as a personality.
And USA Today has a report on it.
And
yeah, they had
Jason
to delete.
Kelce was on the Eagles, so obviously he was, probably deep down potentially rooting for them.
DJ Gardner might not have realized is what was about to come because they'll find your family.
That wasn't like, oh, Taylor Swift isn't like thick. It was like, you should have stayed with your last thick girlfriend. It's a little more.
Shots fired.
They could be, if they all started responding by like whoever his girlfriend or fiance is, like making fun of her, maybe that's fair game. But
CJ Gardner-Johnson should have seen it come. Should have seen that coming. If you're going to troll in that way, you got to be ready.
One fan even made a post about how it was sad that Kayla's whole public identity seemed tied to her ex. But there were others who came to her defense, pointing out that she was there in a professional capacity as a journalist with a media pass. She's covered major sports events, and her presence at the Super Bowl was just part of her job. Kayla didn't intend to stir up drama, but some people just couldn't let go of the idea that her past relationship with Travis was still relevant. It's always interesting how former partners of public figures get scrutinized, even years after the relationship ends. People love to dissect their actions, especially when they're still in the public eye. It makes you wonder if Kayla's presence at the Super Bowl would have even been a talking point if her past with Travis wasn't so public. But in the end, Kayla handled the situation with grace, and it was clear that her work in the sports industry was what brought her to the game, not a desire to reignite old drama. Still, the online drama continued, highlighting the complex dynamics of being a public figure with a past that fans are still very invested in. Meanwhile, after the game, Travis and Taylor spent some quiet time together, enjoying a dinner with friends, reflecting on the whirlwind of their relationship, and looking forward to a bit of downtime now that both of their schedules had slowed down. Despite the challenging end to the season, Travis and Taylor's bond appeared as strong as ever, leaving fans to wonder just what's next for this high-profile couple. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.